Hello. Good day. Hi. How you doing? We're back. Fridge gang, where you at? Exactly. Where you at? Get in the chat. Say hello. How's everyone doing on this fine Wednesday afternoon? We all been following the old Twitter. Let's say that. Bit of a nightmare right now, isn't it? Bit of a scary time to be alive. So I thought, let's do some drawing. Let's try and just distract ourselves from the world. Twitter's a dumpster fire right now. Yeah, it's pretty scary, isn't it? How are we doing sound-wise? Is it a good sound level? Is it in sync with the video? What are we saying? Let me know. Oh, I've just knocked the old camera, so that won't have helped. There you go. Other than that, how is it? Other than that obvious glaring error. How are we doing? Let's just assume it's good. Sound is good. Excelente. We're doing comics today. Gonna be a bit of a chilled out one. Just gonna ink this thing, get it done so we can put it on the old Instagram. I don't know if this. Oh no, we did a group stream last time, didn't we? We did a draw off. So this must have been the stream before that we penciled this. I need chill. The world is too much right now. It is. Yeah. Yeah, I was up very late last night, waiting, and then I just decided, fuck it. I'm not going to know for like a week, so I'm going to bed. And didn't get a lot of sleep, but here we are. Where is the brush that I want for this? This one. Sure. Actually, let's open up a previous file so we can see the line weights and such for this comic that we're doing. Can you draw us a better future? I could do, yeah. I don't think it wouldn't be real though, that's the problem. You know, I type sarcastically. I hope you're typing sarcastically. Yeah, see, that is nowhere near as fat as this line here, is it? Or any of the lines in there. So it must have been a different pen, perhaps? I don't know, actually. I think maybe the outlines were. Lines need to be fatter with a pH, that's true, they do. Let's just do it like this way. That's the wrong layer. Bam. Let's modify, contract that by 20 pixels. Delete it. And let's view this at 100%. That looks about right, doesn't it? Although actually, before we do that, we need to make a gutter here. Oops. So if you don't know, chat, the spaces in between panels in comic books are called gutters. Fun fact. Don't ask why. Contract that by 20 pixels. Bam. There we go. Now we have two panel outlines. It's that easy, chat. It's that simple. No, I think everything in here was this pen. So we're going to do some fat outlines for the old figures and all the things in the foreground that we want to be the attention of the panel. What are you guys up to today in chat? apart from panicking. Obviously, you all know we're all going back into the old lockdown tomorrow, lockdown 2. You got plans for that? You got new skills you want to learn? Let me know. I'm probably going to be streaming a trifle more than I was before, because obviously I don't have to be in work anymore. And we need to get those numbers up for affiliate, baby. There might be some more sort of slower, chill drawing streams like today, where it's not really the same kind of high intense action as perhaps like the Bob Ross and stuff like that streams are. But basically, whenever I'm going to be drawing, I'm just going to stream it. How is the job situation? It's an ongoing debate. I still have a job. I'm back on furlough. For now, that's how it's going. I think if at the store that I work at, basically a couple of people have left, and now I'm basically like the best bartender they have. So if they have to make redundancies, it probably won't be me. The more worrying thing is if they just have to close outright. But hopefully the furlough scheme extending will have always been the best. Yeah, basically I've just got the month off here for now. That's how it stands, which is nice because I was working a hell of a lot of hours and I was getting really stressed out and tired. So I could really have done with this 4 weeks off is going to be great. Obviously the first couple of days of it have been panicking about the election and all that shit, but it's more just about the way that the world's ruined and we literally live in a dystopian future. Like, we're not allowed to leave our houses for anything that isn't life dependent. Like, nationalism's on the rise. Like, it's just all scary times. And like a fucking reality TV star is the president for now, anyway. Like, it's literally we're living in a sci-fi novel, which I thought would be great for someone like me who loves sci-fi, but it's actually just very draining, isn't it? Most of the people I've spoken to are still keeping shops open and working. Mad. Yeah, even while we had obviously there was this tiered system, right, which I guess technically is still in place today because the lockdown doesn't start till tomorrow. We had places that obviously you were meant to close at 10, right, and loads of places down my road just were open when I'd get home at like 10:30. It's a bit of a risky play, but I guess if the cops don't come and check, then you get away with it, right? Because we did have one day that this isn't the cool dystopian future where it's a wasteland with guns and 80s music playing in the background. Yeah, that is cool as well, but that would also be terrifying to live in. But no, this doesn't have any of the cool, it just has the terrifying, doesn't it? Like there's a plague ravaging the world. That we may or may not be immune to once getting, that'd be scary, wouldn't it? What a world. Anyway, chat, that's not the point. The point of this stream was to distract ourselves. So you're getting me back on the wrong track. We're just drawing some happy little comics that also happen to feature a bit of a dystopian future, but that's fine. This is fiction. So this one, remember chat, was meant to be like a dark figure because the light's coming from the front, so it's all creating shadow. I'm going to see if I can do some illegal martial arts lessons. Yeah. That's the best kind of martial arts, surely. You could always do like some YouTube sessions. I wonder how good of a replacement for the real thing they are. I imagine not very. Hey, maybe it'll give me a chance to get back into shape. Because the first few weeks of lockdown 1, I was quite a healthy boy. And then it all fell apart when I had to go back to work. But now I don't have to be back at work, so I can get healthy again just in time to go back and work and ruin it all again. Sound good, chat? I'm gonna get swole. I'm not gonna get swole. I can't afford the food to get swole. I'm only allowed out to buy food when I absolutely need it. I can't just be going out and buying Rice Krispie bars and being like, I need sustenance. You don't understand. Boris, the gains, Boris. Yeah, so like I was saying, I'm dropping some lines here, right? Because this bit's going to be really bright, and then the inside is going to be really dark. How's lockdown going to affect your revenue, Adam? I know your job is a home-based thing, either way, but I imagine it's not great, the world not being able to spend much money and therefore not being able to hire many freelance people. But then what's weird about this one is, like, the first lockdown when we were going in, it was like, oh my god, this is so uncertain, it's so scary, you know, what's going to happen, how is this going to work? And this time it's just like, oh, we're going back into lockdown, alright. Did that for 8 months and I was fine, so what's another one? You know? Right, I think that's going to do for this pen, chat. We're going to move on to a smaller one. Actually, let's do the brush stuff first. So I'm going to take a brush pen. And this is a lot like we were doing in the other stream where we were inking traditionally. We're just recreating all of those techniques here in Photoshop because we're lazy. Not much is going to change. It was busy last month, but I imagine this month is going to be quiet. Yeah, got a couple of things to keep me busy. Yeah, I guess ongoing stuff is the best thing you can wish for right now, really, isn't it? Because yeah, I imagine it will be quite quiet. Because also, like, stuff isn't getting made, really, is it? So there's less stuff to make, to hire an illustrator for. Because there's so much uncertainty on the market, people don't want to sell new stuff or make new shows or whatever, you know. Like even magazines and stuff, I can't imagine us selling incredibly well. Not paying great, but gonna see if I get further again. Yeah, well, hopefully them extending the scheme for employees means, I think they said that they're going to extend the stuff they did for freelance people. That you'd think they'd have to, right? They couldn't just leave you out in the cold. But then this, you know, this is a Tory government we're talking about. And we have been already surprised by how far they have been willing to go. They could just turn around on us and do what we thought they were going to do the whole time, you know, which is not support any industry that doesn't pay them a lot of money. I'd love to be furloughed again. I was living my best life. What's happening with your work then? Yeah, Furlough is it was alright. It went on for way too long, and now we're gonna have to do it again. So that's not ideal, but here we are. 40% last time I checked, but hopefully I will up it. You'd hope so, but then, you know, it's weird that they even. I don't think anyone was expecting them to definitely go back into lockdown. I mean, they should. It's right that they do, but obviously it's a bit too late now. But you would think with them wanting to have a good Brexit or whatever that they'd be too worried about losing money, but here we are. We have people at our work who never even got off furlough. They've been off furlough this whole time. So that sucks to be them. Or it doesn't. I mean, they've had, nothing to do for 9 months or something stupid. And they've been getting paid for it. So that's nice, isn't it? But I did feel like there was only so long that I could do nothing for, Although it meant that I could get this all set up, so that's good, I suppose. Why worry about losing money when you can just borrow billions and let someone else worry about it later? True. You make a good politician, mate. Actually, that should be that thing, shouldn't it? It should just be these. I do that in my daily life. I'm constantly telling myself that that's later Chris's problem. And then when it comes to that time, I'm like, oh, fuck you, past Chris. Really screwed me over there. And I never learn. And you know what? That's this country. That's the Western world. We just don't learn. We refuse. Or we learn for like one electoral cycle. And then we're like, oh. Completely forget, go back on our ways. At least this month you're sorted for streaming so you can smash it out and get affiliate. That's the plan. I'm just going to stream whenever I'm drawing stuff now. I'm just basically going to be streaming it unless it's commissions that people don't want me to show. That made it sound like I'm drawing really inappropriate stuff. I'm not. Maybe I am. Maybe I am, chat. Maybe I will be. Yeah, the main thing for affiliate now is just we've got to push getting those last sort of 15 followers through the door. So if you're listening, chat, and you know people that aren't following, or you yourself are not, then obviously follow, but also just tell your friends, tell all your friends. I'd really appreciate it. You'd be doing me a big old solid. Oh, that's a good point, actually. I need to make Adam, I said I was going to make you a mod, didn't I? I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I would like to be mod. Yeah, I will make you mod. I don't know if it's going to happen right now or if it'll happen after the stream. Can I do it in chat? I can report you. I'll do it in a bit. I'll do it later. I'll do it after. But yeah, I want to get some mods in so that we can get a bit more of a community going in chat. And also it's helpful to have people monitoring stuff while I'm streaming, because especially on these Photoshop ones, it's quite hard to have the stream monitored at the same time. Sorry, like, what we're up to today. We're inking today, but in Photoshop this time. We're distracting ourselves from the anxiety of the world. So this is what we're working on. We did this a couple streams ago. We penciled this, and now we're inking it. I don't like that line bit that I've just done there. In fact, I don't really like any of this here. Maybe it'll look better when we colour this bit in. What do you think? You up for watching that, or are you just gonna dip out? do. Appreciate you dropping by anyway, late or otherwise. Yeah, I think if we put this bit in shade, we'll be alright. It'll look alright. The problem is you don't want too much like just line stuff that has no blacks to the transition, because it looks too flat. We don't want flat chat. We want fat. Fat, not flat. Hashtag that. I like to learn. Cool. I don't know how much there's going to be to learn today. But hopefully it's just quite therapeutic to watch. I've come back and watched some of Adam's streams, which are kind of the same sort of thing as this. And it is just quite chilling. It's just quite nice to have on while you're doing other things, you know. It's one of the best compliments I've had about these streams, by the way. Is my friend who was in the chat the other day, right? Was like, I was watching the stream with me and Adam, and he was saying like, you watched the timed ones, and he was like the 10 seconds and 10-minute ones, and then he was like, oh, I'll stop at an hour because I've got work to do, and then he just ended up watching the whole thing, which was nice. We all need chilling, don't we? Don't we? Just, I've got this one while I'm working on. I can confirm that it is chill. It's just pretty chill. It's just pretty relaxing, you know. Let's get this kanji drawn in. So if you remember, chat, this kanji here, we googled, is the kanji for dream, so it means dream, because he's a dreamer, this guy. He likes to dream. Well, he doesn't, but he has no choice. I had the people from my D&D group watch last week's stream with me and you in it while they were working as well. That's good. That's nice. Get the views up. Daniel's just said that he's going to put it on for his class. Well, not for his class, but I think he should, you know. Got a lot to learn. I feel like I'm just as capable as he is to teach them. Maybe not as qualified though. The horse's dream? Dunno. You'd hope so. Do you think they dream like dogs dream and like kick and run in their sleep? That'd be pretty terrifying, wouldn't it? Do androids dream of electric sheep? If they do, then it's probably true that horses do, right? A living thing. Do. Some of this should be like that. Because all of this bit's going to be black, right? So you need that white line there to differentiate this, because this black line you're not going to see when we colour this in. Doesn't everybody and everything? I dream. Hal dreams. See? If Hal dreams, then horses must dream. Wonder what Hal dreams of. Murdering all the humans, do we think? I don't know if everything does dream though. Dreams are such a complex and weird thing though. You'd think that we would dream because we're sentient, right? That we can create those kind of ideas in our head without just experiencing them, whereas most animals aren't. Like a shrimp. Does a shrimp dream? Or does it just not have the mental capacity to dream? Or am I just being really rude to animals and really elitist? Keep changing from the sketch to just inking. I'm just checking how it's looking. So just turning that off, I can get a better idea of how it's going to look as I'm going. And also, I'm going to fill in colour with the bucket tool, this black bit. But at the moment, you can see it fills the whole page in because there are gaps that are blocking it from getting out, or that are letting the ink get out. So I'm just making sure that as I go, I plug all the gaps. Like for example here, there's a gap, right? See that? It's not connected. So if I were to fill this head in, like block that gap off, it's going to spill out. Whereas if I come in and block that off and make sure that it's all closed up, it only fills that bit in. And it's easier to see those gaps when the pencil's turned off. It's just habit. Like, it's just good to keep track of what you're doing. Some humans aren't capable of that either. Yeah, that's true. And you know, for a good few years you'd be like, oh, but at least you'd think most people are like that, right? Most people are sensible and can think for themselves, right? But I don't know, man. Like we said earlier, we're living in a dystopian future right now. But hey, not in the fridge gang, right? Went about that. We're free thinkers here. Do. Oh, that was the end, wasn't it? That was roughing this out for. So it's not part of this. Let's just do that. Or maybe let's do... Because if this is a fold that's coming in here, light would go over the side of it like that. So it'd come down more. This is a private party, pal. What's buffing? Sorry, Troy, but Dr. Troy, but he is very much allowed. He is a member of the fridge gang, and therefore he can be in the fridge. Unless we're going to have a fridge civil war. Originator. Host this dick. Nice. Oh, you're hosting me in the old Discord. That's nice. How are you guys doing today? What are we up to? Did you ever go climbing in the end, Jake? Or did you just sack it off? It's good until 8 messages ago, fair. Sorry, I've done it again, haven't I? It's force of habit, mate. I think, to be honest, though, everyone watching this stream already knows who you are, so... It's force of habit, mate. I just don't like you, and I want everyone to send nasty messages to your address, so... I mean, what are you going to do, you know? Still in a lecture? Wow. Although, thanks for watching while you're in your lecture. You absolute badass. That's commitment to the Fridge Gang, and I respect it. That being said, we used to play Civ in lectures, so, I mean... What are you going to do? Okay, so here's the moment of truth, Fridge Gang. Did I fill this in correctly? Nope. So it's getting out on the lower half somewhere. Oh, it's over here. There we go. These bits can be done. It's not like education is important here. I learned a lot while playing Civ. I learned a lot about how to play Civ. I didn't learn a lot about illustration, but then we only had like 3 lectures on that course, so... Bam! See that, chat? That's what we were going for this whole time. It makes a little bit more sense now, doesn't it? You've got to visualise that at the penciling stage, right? When we're scribbling this in. Bam. Dun. How is your lecture going anyway, dear hats? What are you learning about? Is it more important than this? About placement. Do you know where you're going on placement? And if you even are going on placement, I mean, well, I guess schools and nurseries and stuff are open right now, so as of right now, I assume they are working on the assumption that yes, you are. Sorry, I don't mean to dox you further by revealing what kind of course you're doing there. Big Rona. Yeah, you don't think you will. Wow, Dr. Troy, that is such a good joke. How long did it take you to come up with that one? Solid. I like the shitposting isn't about me in my chat. It's quite refreshing, actually. Yeah, well, that's because you've reminded me now. Alright, I'm sorry. You just had to take one for the team there. I'd rather let that one remain. It's not a dream. It's a nightmare. And I'd like it to remain that way for as long as possible. This is a zip, remember, chat? Do-do-do-do. Is that too much? Yeah, it's too much. I think this bit needs to be thicker. As such. So as you are aware, chat, we are going back into lockdown, which will mean more videos. So while I've got you here, what sort of stuff do you want me to do while I'm in lockdown? What sort of stuff do you like seeing? I'm open to suggestions. Although it's got to be PC friendly. Because I'm going to try and step my numbers up to sort of 2 or 3 streams a week while I'm not at work. Seems like I might as well, right? Some of them might just be a bit boring of just doing some warm-up sketching and stuff. I want you to 1v1 Adam at Civ. We could do that, but I warn you, he will win. He is much better at Civ than I am. Plus that would be a long stream, so you'd have to buckle up. I'll win for sure, sorry. Yeah, definitely. If it was like a 3-way game with me, Adam, and our friend Dan, I would secure a solid 2nd place out of that, I think. I've got the beating of Dan, but no, Adam is a competent Civ player. He would. I was thinking about trying to find some kind of arty related games though. Because it does feel weird streaming on Twitch and not doing art, right? And not doing games, right? And we just want to slowly transition into being a Rocket League streamer, right? So that's how we do it, I think. Just make a good economy and then buy my army. Yeah, you do, and then you buy my army as well so that we can both crush Dan. It's a good system. It works, and I wouldn't mess with it. But maybe we could play like Art Academy or something. I heard Sonic was good independent art you can draw. Yeah, it does have some good independent art. I won't be drawing any of it then. I won't be drawing any of that. Yeah. Computer that works would help, definitely. Well, I might see if I can get some emulators and play like Art Academy or something. I don't know. What do you think, chat? We could have a big old game of Scribble.io. That's kind of arty, right? Problem is I'd have to police you all and stop you from just drawing dicks on my stream. I don't know if I've got the power to do that, you know. The influence. Also, let me know what sort of days you think would be good to stream on. I'm going to try out different days while I have them all off and see what works best for the most people. Because I know there are some people that have said they want to watch the streams, but they aren't available on Wednesdays. So it'd be good to get some other days in. Hopefully that can get us closer to getting affiliate, because more people will be able to watch and therefore follow. But we're all in this together, chat. You got to help me out. I'm not going to do it by myself, even if I could. I don't like this bit here, chat. I really don't. Just looks weird. So I'm going to go back with my other pen to redo this line. I'll just delete some off. I don't know what the alternative is, though, to be honest. This bit kind of has to be here because it's this fold here, right? It's that. But then this bit that was like kind of a strip doesn't need to be here, I don't think. Nope. What if we just make a shadow like that? What would that look like? Oh, horrendous, actually. Fine, whatever, I'll do. It's not very important, this comic. I'm not selling it. It's not a commission. I should stop worrying. What else is kind of a creative game? Minecraft? No. No, chat. Wasn't there that game where you had to like draw all the assets for it? Or was it Drawn to Life or something? Play that. I feel like if I'm just going to play regular games, I don't really want to do that on this channel. Don't want to confuse the audience, you know. Right, and then this part is all going to be black, right? So again, we're going to outline it and then just fill colour it because we're lazy. And generally, it's not quite as good as colouring in, because colouring in you get some like little imperfections that look a bit more natural than just pasting the whole thing in black. But it's quicker, so we want to make our job as easy as possible, right? That's what it's all about. I like your brush, very nice. Thanks. I think it helps putting it on dissolve, right? The setting, so that it's this perfect black. If you put it on normal, it has like different edges, it doesn't look quite as good. Although where it crosses over, it kind of does this thing where it pulls like that. You see that? As if it's ink pooling in a cross section of paper, which looks pretty neat. And you don't really get the same. You sort of get it a bit with when it's in dissolve, but not as much. And also the benefit of dissolve means that when you shade this in, right, it doesn't have an edge. Whereas if I did this with normal, whoops, then you can see here there's this white line where there's a bit of an edge, and it's because the edge of the line that you draw with isn't perfect black, whereas with the dissolve setting on for the brush preset it is. There's a little tip for all you Photoshop people. I assume there is some kind of equivalent in Procreate for you, Adam. Who knows? But I feel like making stuff look good in Photoshop is just about learning how to work around how broken Photoshop is in places. These don't line up at all. Wow, look how out I was. Very, very bad on my part there. Bam. See, when you get some of these little imperfections, like these little specks of white, looks a little bit more, oops, looks a little bit more natural than just perfect black all the time. So I guess you've got to decide what you're aiming for. Do you want it to look like you did it in real life, or do you want it to look clean and digital? That's a decision you're going to have to make by yourselves, chat. For me, I'm going for sort of a mixture of the two, because it's the easiest way to do it. So this little thing here is going to cast a shadow, right? So all we're going to draw of it is its shadows. You don't have to draw the other outlines. Maybe a bit of one there. But if you leave this bit here, it gives you that sense that it's connected to this wall here along this point. If I did it like that, it's too separate, right? It's too much. Draw less, always draw less. Less is more. Make your job as easy as possible. Work smarter, not harder. Right, chat? That's what we're about. Except it's not even that smart. We should probably go around this beep so that it stands out against this black, because in the black there, you're losing a bit of this B. So if we go in with the white, like that, we can bring it out again so that it reads better. See that? Also, it shows you that this is separate from the image, right? It brings it forward on the panel. You could even have it coming out of this panel border if you really wanted to, like this. And in fact, I might do that. Just gonna wing it. Oops. So the sound effect is separate from the image, right? It's happening in the image, but it is not part of the image, right? Beep isn't written on that wall. So having it separate and coming out, and think of it as like in the foreground, right? So if you were to pivot, it would move. And by putting it above this line, it's more foreground than he is, right? Because he is behind this line, so that's above it. So you know that this is ahead of him, and he is the most foreground in the image, right? So that's separate from the image. Does that make sense? I'm sort of rushing that a little bit. What does a scanner look like? A hand scanner? I think I'm just going to do it with halftones because I'm lazy. We want these to be round. Oh, but maybe not perfectly round. So like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah. These are like lens flares almost, reflecting in what would be the camera that you're viewing this in, because that helps your brain discern that this is a bright flashing light shining at you, because you're used to seeing that on a camera. You associate lens flares with that, right? So any way that you can associate your image with an image that your brain is used to seeing is a good way of communicating it, even if in real life your eyeballs don't see these lens flares, but you understand what they mean because you've seen them in every J.J. Abrams film you've ever seen, right? Like that. This just helps sell the idea that he's stood in front of a bright set of lights, or big light. You following me? Picking up what I'm putting down there, chat? Oh, I've done this on the wrong layer. Wow. Oh well. Happy accident, right? That's all that is. I mean, it's not that happy, but it is an accident. How long are we on? Hour in. Okay, that's fine. It's probably going to be about as long as all the other streams that we've done then. I suppose that's fine. Actually, thinking about this now, the light is switching for this, right? Because here, the way I've just drawn it, it looks like the light is coming from here this way, because the shadow is on this side. You know, when you shine a light on something, the shadow is on the other side of it, right? Whereas we now know that the light in this panel is mostly coming from in front of this guy, right? So it'd be coming this way, out from here, like this. Which means that the shadow should be on this side of this weird dial thing, coil, or whatever this is, little light bulb, I don't know. It just looked kind of futuristic, so I drew it. So it should be like this, right, chat? And again, that helps sell this sense of bright light shining that way, coming out of here. And if here the light is like above his head from a ceiling light or something, that's why you've got this shadow here being reflected from this arm this way. That's why this light's like that. That's why this eye is sort of in shadow from his hair. You've got to think about where the light's coming from all the time, chat. And that helps sell you that switch, because the shadow switch. That's what it's all about. Gonna have this letter end at what the end of his leg would be, but the line's not going to continue like that. So it shows you that form without drawing the form, because this is going to be black, right? So you get a sense that that ends there without having to draw a line that shows you that that ends there, right? Again, it's about drawing as little as possible, even though I just drew that like 3 times to tell you it, but I'm saving you time later on when you do this, chat, if you ever do. Also reminding myself to save myself time. And again here, same thing. Bam. Although this one has a bit of a line coming here, so. Don't know what we're going to do with the letter work here yet, because this is probably going to be black here, but we'll see. So again here, this time the text is behind him, not in front of him, because you want his figure to be an imposing thing in the frame, and putting this in front of it is just sort of going to ruin that a bit, I think. How are we doing on frame rate and stuff? Let's have a look. Stream quality is good. That's good news. Yeah, see, when I'm just doing these streams by myself, with only like Photoshop and Streamlabs running, my tablet can absolutely handle that just fine. But when we try and do those streams with Adam, when there's so much stuff going on, especially that Bob Ross one, oh my god, it just can't hack it. So maybe when I'm back at work and can afford it, I'll buy a new PC. And then we can really step up the quality of these streams. See, this is going to be black. It's going to ruin that. Unless we don't make it black, we make it halftones. Like give it a gradient, a grey tone. Because we are going to do that. If we just do these motion lines, it can be the edge of the... Yeah. Okay, I know what I'm doing, chat. I can see it in my brain hole. You're just going to have to bear with until I finish it, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Also, getting a new PC would be nice, because this one, the fan system is quite loud and stuff, and now that I've worked on the audio with my mic, it kind of picks it up too much, so it would be nice to not have that going on. But again, this whole thing's been a massive learning curve. I know quite a lot about making videos, but not a lot about streaming live, so it's been good to practice and learn along with you guys. I appreciate you for bearing through what sometimes has been a bit clunky. I think that's another thing that's going to help us get affiliate and whatnot, is a consistent quality. Something to work on, right? Yeah, there you go. You get a sense of motion there, right? So now we just need to erase where that's overlapping stuff. So I'm going to turn that layer off so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to erase the stuff that's on this layer that needs to not be there, like all this stuff. Stream's good, man. Quality is good on these. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. It'd be nice to find a day where sort of a lot of people are free, so that we can get everyone in chat. So people that haven't had a chance to watch and stuff can come by and say hello. And obviously with lockdown, that might be a bit more doable now for everybody. So you see how here I've just done that sort of crisscrossy stuff here that it's denser at the bottom, right? Lots of lines. And then as you go, the lines get more spaced out and sparse, and it gives you that gradient of light to dark here. So you get the sense that the light is fading into shadow, which again gives you another indicator of which direction the light's going and how bright this light is. If it goes straight from white to black, it's quite bright, because sort of more dim lights diffuse better and the shadows aren't as dark, whereas a really bright light will cast a really dark shadow. Try some weekend afternoons. Yeah, I think I'm going to do on Sunday one, so if people are about on Sunday, come say hi. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I might try and do like these kind of chilled, just basically watching me draw streams, like on weekends or in other days, and then save the Wednesday for the more sort of quote unquote fun streams, like the Bob Ross stuff and the stuff with you, Adam. Might be the way we play it. Or do the opposite and do these ones on Wednesday and then fun ones. Maybe we could have like Fun Time Friday or something. I don't know. But it would be nice to have a schedule if we're going to do lots of different stream types, because I think that helps with like viewer retention and stuff, and getting people to come back. I think it helps if you have a regular schedule. Yeah, I bet you can hear that fan really loud, can't you? There's not really much I can do about that, sorry. I think we're ready to move on to half turns, chat. Let's try and find one of these. I like. Oh, I think that's a one that changes a lot, right? This one here. We need to find what this one is. Do. My guess is it'll be screen tones too, because that's the one I use all the time. It's not quite that, but it's very close, isn't it? Or is it? It just needs moving, maybe? No, that's on the wrong layer anyway. I think it's that, and I've just tweaked the amounts, so I'm just going to use this one. What have you found, Adam? Because I know that you've been doing streaming on lots of different days to try and get an idea of what's popping. What have you noticed has been a good day to stream on? I'd rather you do my market research for me. Saves me spending the time. We're going to have to outline this text again, but oh well. That's too big. So what we're doing here, chat, is we are creating some greys using screen tones. So a screen tone is basically a technique. You see it in like a Roy Lichtenstein. It's probably the most popular artiste outside of the comic book industry to have used this technique. Where basically, because when you made comics originally, right? And like these I use these in like newspapers and stuff, because the printing technique only allows you to print one color at a time, and I don't just mean like red, so you can do lots of different shades of red. I mean you get one shade of one color. So for example, black, and it's pitched just black, right? So the only way to create gradient without spending a lot of money printing lots and lots of different colors is to space it out with these patterns that, when read from afar, read as a grey, but up close they're just perfect black and perfect white. And we're mimicking that technique here, or well, we're basically just stealing that technique here to create greys, even though I could just go in, because it's Photoshop, with a grey, and it's only going to be on Instagram, this comic, so I don't have to worry about the printing process. But also, like, if you go and look at like a newspaper, the way that it's printed, you'll see these screen tones everywhere, these halftones of different colours overlapping, because it'll only be your four printed colours, right? Your cyan, magenta, yellow and black, and then it uses them to make colours. let's just use this pen, but let's change the shape dynamics of it. Let's change the texture to be, we want it to be like that, and like this. That's too much. There we go. So just by changing the size of the dots and the space between them, you can get a different shade of grey in there. Right? This reads slightly darker than that, because here the dots are closer together and fatter, so there's less white space and more grey space. I mean more black space. And then here, because they're so much smaller, there's more white, so it reads as a lighter tone. It's a technique that's become increasingly common in the past sort of 5 years in illustration. A lot of people are doing this. You see it everywhere. Although I will just say I was doing it before it was cool. I've been doing this since like start of uni. Dun, dun, dun. Then we wanted his top to be a gradient as well, like a grey tone as well. Let's use one of these halftone brushes that changes the density like a normal brush would, and I'll talk you through that in a sec. One sec. So these brushes, like, depending on how hard you push down, it changes how big the dots are and how far apart they are, so you can get those different shades of grey without manually changing it, which is pretty good. It just means that you don't get the same, because see, with this brush it's consistently the same shade everywhere, whereas this one it's really hard to get the same consistent shade absolutely everywhere. So like a combination of the two is usually what I go for. Some of them work for certain situations and not others. You've got to be aware of how much you're pushing down, basically. So in these areas at the back here, I'm pushing down slightly more, so you can see it's slightly a darker shade here, whereas here I'm letting it break to even completely white, because the light we said is coming this way, right? This way. So it's going to be darker this side. And we could put like a side, like a reflective light on the other side, a secondary light source. And then this print is going to be perfect white like that, so it stands out. Sure, why not? Maybe put a bit here where his hair, like, he's got a bit of a bowl cut, so it sits over his head, which would cast a shadow, if that makes sense. All that. Beautiful. And then the back of his head here is going to, on his neck is going to cast a shadow as well.
think that looks dumb. I think it just needs to be where this hood is, like that. And then this needs to be like this. And then we want to put like a grid on it. Like that. I don't know how well that's going to read when we zoom out, but you sort of get a bit of a sense that that's a grey with white lines through it, right? Sort of. Been out for a bit doing my photography homework. Drawing's looking good. Good. Been taking pictures or just learning how to take pictures? Doesn't seem like the most beautiful day out to go and take pictures, but maybe it's nice where you are. Maybe it's nice and sunny up north. I doubt it. We want there to be a line of white on the edge of all this edge light to show how bright it is in front of him. Learning about how to work a fucking camera and upload pictures. Task was exposure. Yeah. Cameras are very confusing. I had to spend a lot of time working out to get this DSLR to work to let me stream footage like a webcam, and it's just a real pain in the butt. Exposure though, you're just trying to make sure that your whites don't blow out, right? Like you check your levels. Oh, you probably can't see this actually, but just make sure that there's no white too high in the graph, basically. Why is this not drawing? Oh, because I made a levels layer. That's why. Well, today, I don't know. I don't know if today is the ideal day for learning exposure, because the sky probably will blow it out quite a lot. So it's probably quite a good experiment to try and get it to. If the sky's like grey or bright, it's quite easy to see when you have overexposed. I'm saying that like I'm an expert in photography. I'm really not. And again, look, see, we're pressing a lot harder here than we were up here, so you can see this is creating a darker shade. Which is doing essentially the same thing that we were doing with these lines here, right? We're just using dots instead of lines. Again, this is a lens flare, right? So it's super bright. In fact, we can get rid of some of this here. It's like the light reflecting into here, breaking up that line. The other day, lovely autumn colours, but crap skies. Yeah, that's autumn. It's the way it goes. Let me just colour this bit in. This is this door, right? I could even make this kind of fade a little bit by changing the size of this, maybe. Oh, not rubber. I think that's going to change the placement of them though, so it's going to. We're going to get an overlap, I think, here. Yeah. See, the dots aren't in the same place, so it creates this weird double pattern when you try and change the size of them. That's why it's better to use these brushes that fade. But alas, it's too late. Actually, no, it's not. We can just do it the old-fashioned way. And by that I mean put it in and then erase from it. Maybe not like quite like that, but we'll come back to that bit. And the reason I say that's the old-fashioned way is because originally with screen tones, right, you would have a thing that you physically pasted onto a piece of paper that had the tone on it, and then you would go in with a knife and cut parts of it away to create whites. So that's what we're going to do here in a sec. Well, that's what we're going to mimic here. I just need to find the brush. PB Parrot, there it is. So you would go in and cut parts of the tone out like this to create white areas, which you can use to transition this out slightly. And because we put it on another layer, we don't have to worry about hacking into the original image. Although I do have to go back and touch up this bit that I fucked up. Beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. See how it's like kind of fades out now under those lines. This line should probably be dropped because, again, it's really bright. So you want the light shining means that you don't see the edge of this. Maybe not quite that far in though. Needs to be more like in the middle where the center of the light is coming from. Like here. Whoops. Oh, frick me. I have too many brushes, chat. You can't see these, but I have to scroll through like a bajillion brushes every time I try and find the one I need. That'll do. Fuck it. No, that's gonna annoy me. That one little pixel wide gap is gonna absolutely drive me insane. It's literally 1 pixel as well. There we go. Fixed it. Okay, I think we're going to outline this shink text here where it opens the door. Shink. Again, I hope this isn't like some kind of slur. I don't think it is. There's the... Shit, okay, so that's fine. That's too much. Now my Photoshop's frozen, so that's good news. I wonder if that affects the stream at all. Doesn't appear to. That's good. There we go. Bam. This. It's not dissolve. Fuck's sake. Been really rough with this, but oh well. I'll touch it up. Right, see now that stands out a little bit more. You can read it better. I think we're pretty much there, chat. What do we think? Do we like? Should we put the should we do the text for this bit? So I'm going to copy this onto here so that I can get a reference for the size of the text, because it's all the same comic, right? And I'm going to create a rectangle that shows me how wide I need these letters to be. Turn this off for now. I don't remember what this is supposed to say on this page. Let's find out. Dream I have the power to and I stumble forwards. ... So we're going to use this slightly fatter one that we used before, because I think that's the size that I used on that one. Yeah, that's about right. Wow, I'm really struggling with this S chat. I'll do. I've got do it again. You ready? Oh, that would have been perfect. I didn't use a font for this comic, chat, because I just like the idea of hand lettering one. Other comics where there's a lot more text, I definitely do use a font, but it's a font that I made out of my own hand lettering, so. I can't remember what I made the bees look like. Oh, pretty uniform. Do it's like goes slightly up like that. Is that that? Yeah. I'm so bad at fonts. Yeah. I can only really do one sort of kind of comic booky font. Actually, I'm not that bad at type, but it is a lot of just redrawing the same letter and over and over and over again, and then going back and moving stuff around and tweaking it and stuff. What the fuck am I doing? It's an R here. I can't spell. You made me think of the word font there. You're confusing me. I've just done the same layer. That was stupid of me. Oh, shite. There you go. What if I contract that by 20, fill it in white? Bam. That's better. Needs to not. It needs to be more. Shoot. Are they separate layers now? Yeah, they are. This needs to be across more. Like that. Oh, I think it needs to be. The thing needs to be bigger because it's like proper fat around those parts. This probably isn't that entertaining to watch, chat, but we're almost done. Boom. So you've got to think when you're penciling, right? You've got to think about where you're placing that. Because if I hadn't thought too much about where I was going to put it, I wouldn't have left this space at the top here. You know, I could very easily have put his head up here and filled the panel more, but by leaving this little bit of space up here, where there's not too much info, I'll leave myself space to put text. And with that, I think we're done. What do we think, chat? Do we like? Oh, hang on. Let me turn the things on for you. Bam. Save that as a JPEG. Actually, this. Do. Yeah. That's that. We're done. We're going to call it there, chat. What do we think? Do we like? Do we hate? I'm not changing it either way. Sorry. That's going to go on Instagram soon. You can actually, I think I've put this on my my website, this comic, so you can read it there as well. But it's basically just I'm making it up as I go along. Just a fun little thing just so that I keep drawing comics. Some practicing without the pressure of it having to be, you know, really good. Good work, Chris. Thank you for your company. You're welcome. Thanks for yours. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. It's been fun. Now that we're back in the old lockdown, there's probably going to be more streams than usual. One day, sort of 2 or 3 a week, and vary them up a bit. Do some different stuff all the time. I've got a painting commission that I've got to do, so that might be a fun one. I haven't painted in a long time, so we might have to work that out together, chat. Might be a bit of an experience. Maybe we'll do that next. I don't know. I think the next stream's probably going to be a Sunday. I think we'll try a Sunday. So maybe this Sunday. And then we'll have to do another draw off with Adam. Because at the moment he's winning and I can't let him win overall. So we're just going to have to keep doing draw offs until I'm winning and then we stop. Right? Right, Fridge Gang? Let me know if you have any ideas or requests on stuff you want to see. Let me know when is a good day for all of yous. Because again, like I say, my schedule is wide the fuck open now. Thanks, Boris. So, yeah, let me know. Looks dope, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was inking a digital comic. Everybody, that's what that looks like. Alright, I'm going to go. I'm going to love you and leave you, chat. Thanks for watching. If you are not already, then please do follow me here on Twitch. Check out the streams on my YouTube channel. And also check out my Instagram and my Twitter. They'll keep you all up to date on when I am streaming, which, like I say, will be more often. Alright, thank you very much, everybody. Have a swell evening. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. See you next time. Bye-bye-bye.